The human race is the main reason why we are facing many of the environmental problems of today. Knowing the hidden impacts of the products we buy is the first step we can take to make the world a better place.
The inventions of the industrial age have made life much more convenient for us. However, these great inventions have had a very negative impact on our planet and its inhabitants. Our manufacturing technologies and the chemicals they deploy were chosen during a time when shoppers and industrial engineers paid little or no attention to the adverse impacts of what was made. Industrial ecology holds the belief that industrial man-made systems correspond with natural systems. Industrial ecologists believe that what we put into the earth will eventually be taken out and could potentially be more harmful to the environment. In this case, since industrial systems correspond with natural systems, we should be able to model man-made products after natural ones. If we knew the hidden impacts of what we buy, sell, or make with the accuracy of an industrial ecologist, we could create a more positive future by making our decisions better align with our values. Once we are aware of the hidden impacts of what we buy, make, and sell, we enter an era of what Goleman calls radical transparency. Radical transparency must reveal what has been hidden from us in ways that are far more complete and better organized than the somewhat disorganized product ratings we have now. By doing this, it will redesign the marketing environment to ensure a better reception for the greener, cleaner technologies and products available today, thus creating a far greater motivation for all of us to start buying them. Most green products may seem to be a better alternative, but most of these products have hidden impacts that are not revealed by the manufacturers. Greenwashing merely creates an illusion that we are buying something virtuous, when in reality it is often just a marketing ploy by manufacturers to get consumers to buy their products. Green products are typically not designed to be green from cradle to grave, but only engineered to undertake a single problem, which leaves all the other consequences unchanged. According to Goleman, green is an action, not a description. We must learn ways to transform products and services that are beneficial to the natural environment and reduces the impact of the industrial system that produces it. Although collectively we are contributing to the ruin of the planet, each of us needs to be responsible for our own individual actions that contribute to the pollution of the earth. It is not likely to get everyone to contribute to reducing pollution, but every little bit helps. Any involvement in a complex system has unintended side effects. Solutions over here can create new problems over there. In this slide, there's an example of corn being used to make ethanol gas, which is a more eco-friendly alternative fuel. But in actuality, using this fuel as an alternative source can cause adverse impacts on the economy. Radical transparency can be achieved through sources like the ones shown in this slide. People can use whatever form they want to get the data on ecological impact. The clearer the better, in Goleman's opinion. Life Cycle Assessment, or LCA, is a method that allows us to scientifically break down any manufactured item into its components, as well as their secondary industrial processes. This approach is also used to measure their impacts on nature from the beginning of their production to their disposal.
Good Guide reveals a product's backstory. Like the LCA, it can calculate the specific environmental impacts of a product during the manufacture, transport, use, and disposal. As you can see in this slide, you can access this information portably. The Leadership in Energy and Environmental Design, or the LEED system, gives full disclosure of the ecological downside of company buildings. This system encourages companies to transform their buildings as a means to gain an advantage over competitors. The Registration, Evaluation, and Authorization of Chemicals, otherwise known as REACH, has one ambitious goal: to test and evaluate all those tens of thousands of chemicals that were grandfathered into use in everyday products by the EPA since 1979. Price is one thing we all understand, so price has become the singular driving force in how things are made and marketed. Despite the willingness of some people to pay top dollar for eco-virtue, when it comes down to what most people are willing to pay, only a fraction of shoppers seem to be guided by the ethical, environmental, or health impacts of products.
Throughout his book, Goleman frequently stresses that there is no significant difference in the prices between eco-friendly and non-eco-friendly products. Besides, buying eco-friendly products will pay off in the long run. So what is ecological intelligence? Goleman defines it as our ability to adapt to our ecological niche. In essence, ecological intelligence is knowledge about how things in nature work, which includes recognizing and understanding the countless ways man-made systems interact with natural ones. The fact of the matter is we live entangled in ecological systems, and we impact them for better or worse. To tap into intelligence, we need to get beyond the thinking that puts mankind outside of nature.
We need to help each other to understand the complexities of ecological intelligence. Collaboration and the exchange of information are needed. It is also vital to gather the important ecological insights and necessary database that allows us to act for the greater good. A collective, distributed intelligence can help spread awareness. This shared intelligence can grow through the contributions of individuals who advance their understanding and spread it among the rest of us. In this regard, our main goals can be broken down into 3 collective ecological goals: know your impacts, favor improvements, and share what you learn. Remember, no single person needs to have a master plan or grasp all the essential knowledge. This is a group effort.
Such a swarm of intelligence would result in an ongoing upgrade to our ecological intelligence.
If each of us follow these 3 simple rules, then together we might create a force that improves our human systems. Signs of this shift in collective consciousness are now fully visible worldwide. For example, there are some executive teams working to make their company's operations more sustainable, such as the businesses with LEED certified buildings, as shown in this slide. Another example of this is that more and more people are beginning to use cloth or canvas bags to carry groceries. This effort reduces the amount of plastic to be manufactured for plastic bags and the amount of trees to be cut down to make paper bags.
Such efforts can help raise our sense of urgency, but we cannot stop there. This is just the beginning. We need to gather the detailed and complicated data that can help guide our actions. Ecological intelligence takes the form of rethinking our entire heritage from earlier days, when processes and inventions came online without regard for their impacts. In other words, we must reinvent virtually everything to achieve a sustainable future. So what did I learn from this? Well, one important thing to remember that hasn't been mentioned yet is that we should all try to remember to be smarter about the way we dispose of materials. We should try recycling things more often, and we should also try disposing of wasted food by way of composting, which is the process of turning compostable materials, like food, into soil. Reading this book has also made me want to try to make my own workplace more sustainable. At my office, we typically use over 100 sheets of paper daily, and sometimes over 200. And that's a lot of paper considering that we are a small business of less than 10 employees. So if we started using recycled paper instead of regular copy paper, then it would definitely lessen the impact that my office has on the environment. I think we could afford it. After reading Goleman's book Ecological Intelligence and Senge's book The Necessary Revolution for my class, I have found many similarities between the two. Both books teach us to be more aware of our actions and the impact that our actions have on this world, both individually and collectively. Goleman and Senge both described very detailed ways that we could lessen our negative impact on the world and possibly turn it into a positive impact. Both Goleman and Senge stress the importance of working together to achieve a sustainable future. Senge believes that this is because of the need to build a critical mass for change within an organization and the importance of connecting different organizations so that they can do together what none could accomplish by themselves. Speaking of sustainability, Senge's book talks about many topics on sustainability, including environmental issues around the Earth that are causing increased interest in sustainability issues, and also what certain companies have done to embrace the idea of sustainability. And like Senge, Goleman also talks about sustainability, but focusing more on how to achieve sustainability by making smarter choices with what we buy, sell, manufacture, and dispose of.